Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to our broadcast. How are you folks doing? How are you folks doing this Friday, the 5th day of December? My God, 20 days time, we're right on the mark. Season's greetings. How are you guys doing this morning? Good to have so many of you on the broadcast already. Jacqueline, Chili G, Avril, Mandy, the whole gang is here. Deirdre, Felix, Carmen, Bailey, Rosie, Rose, and Mandy, and the whole gang. Good morning, folks. How are you guys doing? Welcome to our broadcast. Lots happening. We think you ought to know about a couple of things. A couple. How you folks are doing today, Friday? It's a little rainy in the national capital city of Georgetown, Guyana, where we're broadcasting to you live from. How is the weather where you are? I know those of you who are up north. Those of you up north, my Lord. Your hands full, boy. Your hands full. How are you guys doing? Do let us know. We're fast. We're curious. Nothing new. And we want to know how you folks are doing this Friday morning. Vanilla Garnett. Mario says watching from New Amsterdam. Watching from New Amsterdam. Angela Jordan is from California. Angela watching us from. Angela just saying good morning, FYI family. Vanilla Garnett. Who me? Beatrice, Sonia Massey, come. Sonia, how is Maryland? How is Maryland this morning? How is Maryland? Let us know, Sonia. How is Maryland this morning? Deborah Clark is here as well. Beatrice Selby, the one and only. Beatrice Selby. Good morning, folks. Those of you, you're joining us from some page, credible sources. You're joining us from New Coalition. You're joining us from my Facebook profile. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, do us a big favor. You know, the weather is not what we want it to be. Don't make us work too hard. Don't make us work too hard. Just, you know what you got to do? Let's do it this morning. Let's do it. Good morning to the Americans. There's where we're starting. You know, thanks to those folks who sent me this cup. This utensil for drinking. You know, thanks to you folks. How are you wonderful folks doing this morning? This Christmas. How the economy treating y'all? I see my bank card here. Let me put it up before I got some problems. How the economy treating y'all? You know, when nothing's in the bank card, it's been knocking about the place. When nothing's in the bank card. How are you folks doing this morning? Great to have you guys on with us. Wherever you're joining us from, Hazel Jackman is on the live this morning. Sister Hazel, how are you doing? How are you doing? If you wanna see a proper Guyanese, Sister Hazel Jackman, took and came. You see, a lady who understands protocol. We could teach some folks a thing or two. Sister Jackman, good morning. Let me dot my I's and cross my T's now. Good morning, Sister Jackman. Good to have you on the live this morning. We're just closing in on the 400 persons around this. A humble breakfast table. Sister Hazel, what's in your utensil for drinking this morning? What are you having for breakfast this morning? Sabrina, Deborah, Henrik, Marlon Thomas on the live too. Good to have you all here with us today, each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. Yesterday, my wife and I went out with some great friends of ours after the show yesterday morning. We had some pasta. Pasta tastes nice, but it's the after effects. It's the after effects. Last evening, I was out with some other colleagues and had some garlic pork. I came home and after, Sister Hazel says nothing yet in the utensils for drinking, nothing yet for breakfast. So I came home and I was telling my wife I had this garlic pork. But I made a point to her like I remember garlic pork differently. Like I remember, you know, I remember garlic pork differently. When I came home, I felt my stomach go, what? I said, I remember garlic pork differently. To be young again. To be able to stomach everything. I said, get to older, you can't stomach anything like that. Feel my stomach makes you what? I tasted the garlic pork. I remember. Let me ask you, when you are you supposed to get like a very strong what do you call it? Where's put the garlic pork in? The clear thing. Vinegar? You're supposed to get a strong vinegar. Naomi, that's how you do your garlic pork. It was a strong I remember garlic pork different. Like all now I taste the garlic. like all now I taste the garlic. We went to a nice place. Julie, a nice place. I won't put nobody on blast. On Julie. I won't put nobody on blast. I won't put it on blast. Right? I sign people up very quietly. I am at an age and stage now. I ain't blasting nobody. I come to your business. I don't feel I'm treated well. I get value for my dollar. I gone someplace else. I gone someplace else. Sister Jackman says, be careful with the things you eat, especially in this season here. I mean, the mojito is, I think it's just a little mojito help hold long everything. Coat the stomach wall, hold long everything, But I remember garlic pork different, right? Different. Deborah Clark to share, be careful if your belly dirty, if your belly dirty, and you're eating all them mix up things, you're gonna run to the toilet, giving to it blank. Vanessa Adams said that's too much acid for the stomach. Well, I didn't even eat all, didn't even all the garlic pork. Oradon says vinegar, pork, right? Garlic and fine leaf thyme. I can't remember the rest. I remember the vinegar. you got me the vinegar. I can't remember the fine leaf thyme. I can't remember the garlic. The vinegar. Right? We have the rest. I don't need garlic pork. I know nothing but garlic pork. I should follow you. I should follow you. Forbes News. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Forbes. Folks, I'm giving you this. Today is the 5th. By the time we get to the 5th of the month, we feel acutely, the weight of the year dragging on us. You know, since 2020, I ain't rest. Like really rest. And I've been lamenting how I just want to put my foot up and do nothing like for a day. Even the weekends, you don't even get at liberty. Even the weekends. So we're going to eke out some time from next week. I put you all on notice. From next week, we're going to eke out some time. I'm going to say this. We're going to continue to bring the information to you. But from next week, we're going to be on a little rest. But we're going to be on, but not in the formal format. I'm just putting you on notice. where that is concerned. Ah, next week, right? If anything, we can be out of the studio. I don't like too much else. Don't confine me. I'm at the age and stage. I don't have to explain myself too much. You know? Sister Jackman, you know how I feel? Feel get up tomorrow in Timbuktu is that. Don't put no walls around me. We've been here all year. 6 years now. We celebrated 5 years flat as November started. Yeah, we've been here. I ain't telling you how we can be here for the next 5. I like to take the days. I like to plan. I love to plan. But I like to take the days as they come. You know? If 10 years means we all right. All is well and good. Folks, you know, quite recently, as the year is coming to an end, we tend to do some reflection and so on. When this 5 years, my second term in the National Assembly, comes to an end, I ain't gonna be hitting a big number there, boy. That's why I realize Sister Hazel has a big boy now. I ain't be hitting a big number. But more than that, right? I've been mapping out some very, very important things I want to do in my own life over the next 5. I'm not just thinking about next year only. Over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years, some things I want to, some goals, some aspirations I want to see come to fruition in my own life. What about you folks? That's what I've been thinking about. 5 years. In 5 years' time, how old are you? Sister Hazel, Waveney, Forbes, Denise, how old are you? Right. Marvin, Natasha, Edward, in 5 years. Some of you don't want to think about that. Shucks, boy. You know, you want to think, give me tomorrow. 5 years' time. Where will we be? I'm excited about the future. I'm excited. I'm excited about everybody, but I'm excited about the future before us. Let's make good use of it. As I said, good morning to the Americans. Let us start there this morning. Good morning to the Americans. I saw the American ambassador yesterday saying that if the Venezuelans try anything, we're standing with y'all. I've said it before, I said it again. I like this American ambassador. She's different. She is very people-oriented. I find so. In my limited exchanges with American ambassador, I found her very personable. Right? She doesn't come across as staunch, of carrying that title on her shoulder. I'm the American ambassador. That kind of way. She's like, as the Americans say, she's like the girl next door. She's relatable. You understand what I mean? I like that about her. Is personable the right word? You all help me out. Is personable the right word? Later, I had the flu last weekend. Like it hit the right time. Friday, Monday, I was at the end of it. But I'm feeling some of the aches and pains in the joints. Waveney says, should I be 74? You see that? I have an acute awareness of time. I have an acute awareness of time. And as long as we're still breathing, Waveney, we still got purpose to accomplish on this earth. I saw a beautiful pastor transition over the course of this week, 104. As long as we got time on the clock, we're still breathing. Go after something, please. So, as I was saying, y'all don't distract me. Right? I like this American ambassador. She's very personable. Right? And I think that this government, right, respects her. Not that they respect the last ambassador, in a different way. She's a straight shooter. She is a straight shooter. You don't have to wonder where she is. I like how she speaks very frankly. So in a kind of a way, in an undiplomatic way, in a sense, you always know where you are. You ain't gotta read between the tea leaves and guess and think. Right down the middle. Right, right down the middle. But it's a pledge. It's a pledge. Folks, it is good to have somebody watching your back in this life. It is good to have somebody watching your back. And the Americans got big guns. Right? The Americans got big guns, very big guns. So I'm happy. I'm happy they're watching our backs. The American ambassador said yesterday, I think it was, right? The American ambassador says that Washington would stand shoulder to shoulder with Guyana if Venezuela forces attack in response to a potential U.S. operation in Venezuela. That they would stand shoulder to shoulder, right? Well, I see Naomi says, don't think they're watching your back for nothing. But I understand that. I understand that. Right? It's always something for something. Americans will protect American interests in the very same way. We got to protect our interests. And if we didn't have interest, maybe they would not be watching our back so closely. So I understand that. You got something, I got something. Let's see if we can have something together. You know? But I'm just happy. If we got backup. You know? Because you could got a lot of things, but you don't got the right things. You don't got the backup. So I'm happy. We got backup. You know? Earlier on this morning, I was looking at this Trinidadian influencer. What's his name? And he was showing a video in which a man just won some money. He went and cashed out the money. Just as he left the shop, them boys sponsor he. You know, he won a couple $1,000. Is it still 30 to 1? 30 Guyana dollars to 1 TT dollars? I don't know. Whatever it is. He won a couple thousands TT dollars. Soon as he left the place, them boys punks on him. He had to back up. If you see them boys wrestling him, shot him a couple times, I think he walked away with his life, but with empty pockets. Them 3 or 4 of them punks on him. Gun butt, kick, cuff. You think they left something with him? And they come back for it? You know? He had no backup. I think that is what our neighbors to the west want to do to us. They want to punks on us. But I'm happy. We got some backup. I saw we're meeting with the Brazilians, we're meeting with the Surinamese, we're meeting with the Colombians militarily. It's good to know we got a little backup. You know. So she says Guyana has been a strategic, valued partner to the US and vowed to defend our sovereignty. I like that. I like that. Right? Marlon said the exchange is 28 to 1. Thanks, Marlon. 28 to 1. Right? Marlon, you get backup if something's to happen. You got backup. Elizabeth, Naomi, Troy, Jilly G, Carlton. Carlton, something happened to you. Right. So we're Lone Rangers. Sometimes you get scarred, you get bored. It's a flap that I want a friend. I want a friend by a dog. You know, your dog can be backup. Right? Your dog is your backup. I'm happy. Thank you. You know, it's a little comforting. Knowing that. All right. I know y'all got some added things y'all want to add there about the backup and so on. All right. But I ain't going down the line with y'all this morning. I ain't going down the line. So the Americans say we can stand shoulder to shoulder with you, shoulder to shoulder with you all. Another wonderful thing I saw this morning as we're coming on is our teachers learning Wapichan, Wapishan. This is an indigenous language, Wapishan. Right? Isn't it the Americans, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt? For those of you watching us from the north, it said there isn't a civilization from which we cannot learn. Right? And I wish more people would pay attention to our indigenous culture. It's in my blood. Right? I'm sure when you all look at me, you see indigenous features. Thanks to my father, it's in my blood. So I pay keen interest to what is my heritage. You know, I told you all one side of my family, the Hong Kong connection. Long story. Right? My hot girl grandmother, a blessed memory, passed it on to her daughter, hot girl status. Hot girl status. You know, true, but that's in my family. Right? We're a mix-up family. And that is why I struggle with racism in this country. We also mix up, Leon. Right? We also mix up in this country. I don't know how people got all these struggles and stereotypes. Black people like this, Indo-Guyanese like this. My grandfather, my mother's father, right? A gentleman by the name of Mr. Henry, John Henry. John went to London years ago. John Henry of blessed memory, by the way. Right? And John had a family there. I tell you this story lots of times. And so we have relatives who have black blood in them. But if you look at them, they look Caucasian. So we got the Chinese element, we got that Caucasian element as well. And in our family, my sister was married Pandey, my aunt is married Nur, another aunt is married Singh. And so I have nephews who, when you look at them, you can stereotype them. You can stereotype them. You might stereotype and say, hey, he look like a racist. You don't know. My nephew here is straight like that. Straight. You know. And then I have relatives as well who are indigenous. I don't know how we got race problems in this country. You know, it's a real problem. Who got the hungat? It's an economic problem. That's what we got. It's who got and who won't got. That's the real problem we got. It's every place. I'm certain you could look in your own family line and see a lot of mix-upness. The guy saying the mic is not, I think it's the receiver. Let me take it out completely. I'm taking off the lapel. I'll try just the mic by itself. It might be shaking up. Yeah, sorry about that. I was listening back to last evening's program. Thanks for pointing it out. And I was hearing it breaking up. I think it's the lapel mic. So I just pull out the whatever. Let's move on. So you should be hearing me a little better now because I've taken out the lapel, which is this. Let me show you. Is this? It's a smaller mic attached to the receiver. So take that out. Maybe you're going to hear me a little better now. I think it's faulty. See? We had it for the duration of this our programs. It's about 5 years old. Probably needs changing, right? So I can send you all a link to our Christmas wish list. The Christmas wish list. I can send you all a link. So I'm just telling you, we all mix up in this country. You trace back your heritage, you can find all kinds of things, all kinds of things you can find in this place. So I was very happy when I saw teachers trained to teach the Wapishan language. You know, I am very, very upset. I only know English language and Creolese. I'm very upset. I tried taking on German very early in my life, some Spanish and so on. Right? I ain't even at a usable level yet. You see, Wapishan and teaching that, because one of the things we find is that our indigenous brothers and sisters, the culture is being lost. I told you recently at a place called, where is this? Parima, right? That's the only indigenous tribe in the world that speaks Araucana. So that's an endangered language. The only country on earth with indigenous people that speak Araucana. Then the champagne says is bone crushing cold in New Jersey. I send you all the little warmth we got here. Sending it to you virtually. Stay bundled up, as you all say, layered up. Please and thank you. That being said, I find indigenous culture fascinating, and how it varies village to village, indigenous brothers and sisters. It's fascinating. That being said, folks, I noticed as well a beautiful activity, a very, very beautiful activity in Kaikan. Now, Kaikan, if I remember correctly, is Upper Mazaruni, Region 7. Is it Region 7 or have we gone into 8? I think Kaikan is still Region 7, right? I saw over 700 young people gathered there. And what endeared me to this photograph is the fact that we were in Kaikan a couple months ago, 2 months ago. And these young people are part of the Seventh-day Adventist youth meeting in Kaikan for a Seventh-day Adventist youth event there, right? Youth Congress, Seventh-day Adventist Youth Congress. I remember when we were there, they were telling us it's coming up. And it's a fantastic time to visit, as indigenous youth from all over this country gathered in Kaikan for this. I think it's an annual or semi-annual event. I love to see our young people doing things that are wholesome, that can benefit them. And then when I saw it was over 700 of our young people, I'm saying to myself, yes, there's a step in the right direction. Listen, we just got to give our young people the tools necessary, the enabling environment necessary. And you see, you're in a place like Kaikan like this, you ain't got too much of distractions, right? You ain't got too much of internet and people business and this and that. And the fact that these young people are touching base with God, with the Almighty, with a higher power, is even more inspiring. It's even more inspiring. Listen, I'll say this as we transition from this story. We get so accustomed to the luxuries of this world. And I am always taken back that people could live on such, on far less than we do. You wake up this morning, your mouth itching. Your mouth itching, you gotta get a little garlic pork. You gotta get You gotta get a little garlic pork, you know, right? Well, we think the people pepper pot. We stole the people pepper pot. We stole our forest. People pepper pot. We claim it as we don't know. It's all people's pepper pot. You know, we don't got no distraction, right? No, you don't got no distraction. My son is coming till from the West. Daddy, I want the Netflix. The Netflix. Right? I had to say he taking the Netflix so much now. I do a separate Netflix for him. I said, look, don't fatigue me now. When we set up the Netflix telling us now you gotta be in the same country to do this Netflix something. I said, well, you gotta put the thing on the website. Yeah. I done purchase the thing, now you're telling me something. You're gonna have Netflix and Prime Video and Disney Plus. Right? But it's one with nature. When we were there, I was so surprised. You're hearing the rustling in the trees. I went down a little pond to wash my hand there in Kaikan, just off the strip, and here a lot of rustling through the trees. It's the monkeys. You're one with nature, man. That's what I keep telling you. We got to see this country. We got to see our beautiful country. So congrats to the teachers who are learning our languages, so we can teach. What do you call this? The oral tradition, how we pass on stories from generation to generation. Pass on language. Quite the same way, As we're talking about food, I saw this headline, local fast food chain opens 4th branch. And immediately, I said, Gambo spreading more. It's Gambao. When some of y'all visit locally, I have seen such a proliferation of Chinese of recent and Chinese culture. It's a good thing, right? I see a lot of Chinese young people advertising products locally on Facebook, on TikTok, different stores and so on. Now taking the TikTok and advertise, come here, come, this is the deal, this is something. More than ever before. That could be a good thing. And we just used to have, in terms of fast food, the traditional Chinese restaurant as we know them. Now there's a proliferation of Chinese fast food. Well, don't let me limit it to Chinese, because sometimes we get confused. It could be Korean, could be Asian, not necessarily Chinese alone, but a proliferation of them. Almost every place you turn now, you see Gangbo, Gangbao, whatever it is. Whatever it's pronounced. I don't want to be too flippant, but forgive my pronunciation. So when I saw the thing here, right? Marlon said Cambo. No, Marlon, not Cambo. It's Gamboa, I think is the pronunciation, the spelling of this new franchise. And then when you go, you get your traditional Chinese fries, but they have a whole array of other things. Gangbo. So when I saw local fast food chain opens 4th, I said, Gangbo, Guinea skin. Gangbo, close by Linden Suzdek Junction. You got one by Durban Street. I see one in Region 3. And I'm certain, I think I see one in Region 5 as well. So I said, Gangbo, Guinea skin. Then I saw Chicken and Burgers Delight. Chicken and Burger Delight opens a 4th outlet at Royal Mall in Georgetown. More power to them. More power to them. Right? Managing Director Chetan Puran says it's public demand that is driving the expansion. More power to y'all, man. More power to y'all. More power to y'all. I like my chicken fried rice. I had a fish burger yesterday morning from, where was that from? The fish place, fish shop on White Shop Fish Shop on Hatfield Street. A nice fish burger, half chicken fried rice and a Cokes. I good to go. It shows too. It shows. So, more power to Chicken and Burger Delight. I'm looking forward to sample. Sample. So we can take with Gangbao and we can take with Chicken and Burger Delight. support, support local. Please and thank you. Support local. I'm happy that the Ministry of Labor seem to be trying to be proactive. Ministry of Labor, they're doing their monitoring of different mining camps. You got to be proactive in this country. There've been such an uptick in what do you call them? Work site accident, occupational accident. Such an uptick, especially in mining. Especially in mining, it's not uncommon. Cave in, excavator turnover, bin somebody, kill somebody, dismember somebody. And we're not safety conscious. You just got to see what's happening on our roads. We're not safety conscious. We're just not. We're not. I was going someplace. Oh, when we were going to Prika Sidam, as you head into that area there's some boats that taking out fuel and so on to different areas. That's the at Prika Sidam, there's the Essequibo River behind you there. So they're taking goods and supplies all over. There's a lot of fuel tanks there. I noticed a lot of people just smoking. Cigarettes and so on. There's a heavy scent of fuel in the air. People I was taken aback by that. Very taken aback by it. People just smoking. We don't have a good sense of safety. Occupational safety. So men walking on the boats, packing the fuel list. Sorry. We got to watch that. So it's good to see the ministry doing inspections. Right? And this is Ministry of Labor, their occupational safety and health team. I should be more correct. It's between the Ministry of Labor and the Geology and Mines Commission. Right? And also the Ministry of Health. They said they visited 17 gold mining sites in the Peroni area of Region 7. Right? And they said the inspectors educated more than 100 miners on accident registers, safety pit slopes, emergency planning, proper waste disposal, and keeping the camps clean. I like this kind of proactive approach. And it can be just one-off. It don't become a habit. Safety don't become a habit with a one-off. Consistently holding people accountable for their actions. Consistently, year on year, we got to do it. Year on year. And that's how we get it right. That's how we get it right. They said they also distributed brochures on mercury health effects, accident prevention, and personal protective equipment. And they said they provided training as well on mosquito nets, the proper usage of mosquito nets to prevent malaria and dengue risk. Yeah. A step in the right direction. And as we wrap up, budget matters. Budget matters. When the cash grant come in? When is the cash grant coming? A lot of folks want to know that. When is the cash grant coming? When? Show me the money. Show me the money. So the Minister of Finance, I said Minister with responsibility to be accurate, of Finance, in the office of the President. A substitute finance minister is different. He's minister within the office of the President with responsibility for finance. He's not a finance minister. Dr. Ashley Singh. He said they're prioritizing long-term development. He was addressing the Guyana Manufacturers Association Awards dinner. He said the upcoming national budget will shift spending away from government consumption towards infrastructure and economic diversification. That's like last year's budget. Towards infrastructure and economic diversification. Yeah. So we're watching that. And when all that fancy language and so on, the government industry saying, where we cash grant? Where we cash grant? The 200,000 per individual that you all promise. Where the cash grant? The minister would say that the deposits in the natural fund has exceeded Ghana external debt. This is enabling investment in health and education and the non-oil economy. They're being prudent about debt management and all of that. You know, they said they got to make the hard choices to ensure long-term prosperity. Right? They're living less grand. Right? All that is to say, this cash grant you're asking for, all of that is to say that the cash grant you're asking for, we ain't got it. Oh, really? We don't have it. You will go on to talk about the unpredictable economy, volatility in the oil sector. No. you got volatility and so on when they want to do the mega projects to stroke the egos. But when it comes to paying Guyanese well, throwing you a lifeline in difficult times, now is when they talk about. Now is when they talk about, you know, having to make hard choices. Having to make hard choices, you see. That's what they talk about. We're watching you. We're watching you. Elson Lowe makes the point. Elson Lowe recently made the point that, look, the mismanagement of oil resources. Just last night in our broadcast, we were telling you of discussion that was had on Credit's program. Right? They're talking about gifts unaccounted for $8 billion. That if we do this thing right, cash grant is 10% of revenue that we earn. 10%. To throw a lifeline to people who are experiencing tremendous financial hardships in this country. Right? Last year we earned, I think it was $785 billion in revenues from oil. That has increased over $400 billion in 2025. Them boys live the part of that increase. They live it. That kind of increase allowed them to do all kinds of fancy talks and, you know, slim down and slim up, and the best plastic surgeons, the best restaurants and hotels and so on, Eden and what's not. When it comes to you, we got to ensure long-term thing, and hard choices got to be made, man. Tighten your belt. You know, tighten your belt. But economist Lowe, he's arguing that you got roughly about 300 million US that's being mismanaged. And that could offset this 100,000, 150,000 cash grant for Christmas. Right? Elton is arguing that cost overruns on the gas energy project We paying the people by 100 million US. Cost overruns and all kinds of things. Right? Monies from Exxon, unrecovered expenses claimed by Exxon. If we were to tighten the ship, now we running, we wouldn't have a ball for give a lifeline to Guyanese. We would not. We would not. So cost of living going up. Right? Cost of living is going up. We see also that bus fares, they're saying these bus fares are unapproved. But yet, no intervention is being made. Bus fares, boat fares going up. Beef is close to $1,000 a pound. You got beef at special occasions now. Chicken, right on the heels of beef. You know, they say that the cost of living has increased about inflation about 3%. But when we measure it, based on what people pay in the marketplace for goods and services, it's between 30 to 50%. Some costings and products have increased 300, 400%. Guyanese need a lifeline. A lifeline. As I said last year, we just about eclipsed $1 trillion. Receipt of oil revenues. And everybody's balling. Balling. Look at them, they drive the best, latest vehicles. Latest gas guzzlers. Right? Latest gas guzzlers. But to give you a lifeline. Right? The people who ply the buses and boats, they said, things going up. Repairs, fuel, all of that is going up. The further out you go as well, into indigenous communities, the hardships become even more acute. And so there is need for a lifeline to our people. You see? All right. See about the new ferry. The Minister of Public Works says it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be a game changer. That's what he said. And this ferry, roll on, roll off ferry, the MV Aris 4, right? Says it's going to apply the Parika Supernam route, costing 3.8 million euros, about 4.4 million US dollars. Right? The MV Aris. Just one thing. We can only buy ugly boats. I don't. We can only buy ugly boats. You know, I don't think we place much effort in aesthetics. I'm sure we could buy a good-looking boat and its quality. We got ugly boats, ugly airport. I mean, come on now, please. Please. Yeah. People should want to go on these boats. Right? All right. All right. So we hope it works well. You know, there's buy boats and then the boats just break down. Right? You know, there's buy boats and then the boats just break down. So we hope all goes well. We really do. Really hope all goes well. As we wrap up, folks, as we started, let me end how we started. We started by thanking the American ambassador for the interventions that they're making. The Americans give Maduro a timeline. They say, you better head out or we heading in. They stop this heavy narco trafficking. They said President Maduro is the head of a narco cartel, narco outfit, and he better head out before they head in. And they give him a timeline that was expired last Sunday, Savage. Right? Mandy, Audrey, expired last Sunday. I was quite surprised to see Maduro, by his actions, saying, well, I'm young and got do what I got do. Take a look. Yeah. Now look like a fella going any place. That don't look like a fella going no place. Folks, let us leave it there. We're going to see you guys later on. Let us leave it. That look like a fella packed up to go. It look like a fella packed up to go. Does it? Let us leave it there. Jacqueline, Audrey, Sabrina, Sandra, Savage, Waveney. Let's leave it there. Deborah, please and thank you. Margaret and all the other folks. Let's leave it there this morning. Naomi, you will have a great weekend. We're going to see you guys next week. Stay safe. That's the time, folks. And that's our broadcast. Have a great weekend. It's a hard finish. We got to head off to a presser that's happening at 11. So look out for that. Look out for that. That's our time. That's our broadcast. Thanks for joining us.